My name is Max Caulfield. I came back to Arcadia Bay to study photography at Blackwell Academy. But it was there I started having visions. Visions of the town being wiped out by an impossible storm. I fled to the bathroom to compose myself, but instead witnessed something awful. No! Instinctively reaching out, I discovered I could rewind time.
The girl Max saved was me.
Chloe Price and I were childhood best friends.
We grew close once more as we reveled in Max's strange new powers.
We discovered I can freely rewind up to a few minutes at a time. And if I concentrate on a photo, I can travel much further into the past, projecting my mind back into my younger body.
But we also learned that making significant changes to the past can have devastating consequences for the present.
With the aid of my power, we solved the disappearance of Chloe's friend, Rachel.
But even though we brought Rachel justice, Max's twisting of time had a cost. The storm. Looking down into Arcadia Bay from the lighthouse as the storm raged, I truly believed the only way to save everyone else was for Max to rewind back to that fateful bathroom and let me die.
I was forced to make an impossible choice. Save Chloe, or save Arcadia Bay. After everything that happened, I didn't use my powers for years. I lost myself in photography, a career that brought me to Vermont's prestigious Caledon University, at the invitation of its president, Yasmin Fayed. Being an artist in residence, I worked with some incredible students and staff, like Amanda Thomas, the lively stand-up comedian who works at the Snapping Turtle, and Vin Lang, Yasmin's assistant and then leader of the mysterious Abraxcast Society. Most importantly, I became close friends with Moses Murphy, a nerdy astrophysicist, and Safi Llewellyn Fayed, a glamorous student of poetry, and Yasmin's daughter.
Then, tragedy struck. After a night of stargazing, Max found Safi murdered.
For days, I mourned. Safi's death bringing back painful memories of Chloe, Arcadia Bay, of everything we lost. Then, I heard Safi's voice again. I reached out with my power, rusty from disuse, and shifted into a parallel timeline where Safi was still alive, but still in danger.
Shifting back and forth between the two timelines, Max's investigation uncovered many secrets of Caledon, but the clues didn't add up.
Until I discovered I was not the only one with powers. Safi was a shapeshifter and was using her ability to sow discord and suspicion among the Caledon faculty that she blamed for the fate of her best friend Maya, who took her own life. Working together, we exposed the truth, but in so doing, we discovered someone else had been instrumental in covering up the lies of Caledon. Safi's mother, Yasmin.
Years of resentment overrode Safi's control of her power, her consciousness splintering across the campus as an impossible storm loomed overhead.
In desperation, I grabbed hold of Safi and a photo and pulled both our minds back in time.
In the past, Safi, now clear-minded, begged Max to shoot her, to stop this horror from happening again.
But I refused to repeat my past mistakes, torn between two terrible options. I chose a third way. Inside the storm, causality fractured. I faced my past and united the fragments of Safi's mind. I merged the timelines back into one, saving Safi, and together we escaped the storm.
An action that will have significant repercussions, and Safi herself. She left Caledon on a quest to find other people like her. But before she did, she asked Max if she would support her, flaws and all, or condemn her for the people she hurt.
From the moment I merged the timelines, my ability to rewind time started to return. I have this power to help people. After everything I've been through, I won't run from it anymore.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Episode 1, Part 1 of Life is Strange Reunion, a game that I have been so excited to play ever since that late title card, Max Caulfield Will Return. I was so happy to see that, and here we are yet again. So we're going to be playing through this. Would you like to decide choices that were made previous to the story? I cannot... Randomize exists for somebody, and it is not for me. We are definitely going to choose, and maybe in the interest of moving forward quickly, let's maybe talk about some of these choices as they come up later in the story, but we will try to get some of these knocked out quickly. Amanda. When she's not workshopping her stand-up comedy routines, Amanda bartends at the Snapping Turtle. Max and Amanda grew close last winter after wanting to hang out more, but in the wake of Safi's death and shifting between parallel universes, things got complicated. That is indeed kind of tough to settle down into a relationship. Did Max and Amanda just hang out as friends, or did the pair begin a tentative romance? It was very tentative, but it was begun, so we did romance Amanda. Chloe Price. Chloe was Max's ride or die since childhood, until Max moved away and their friendship fell quiet. When Max returned home years later, she saw Chloe die and manifested the ability to rewind time to save her. But changing Chloe's fate unleashed a supernatural storm that threatened the hometown of Arcadia Bay. Max faced an impossible choice: save Chloe's life and sacrifice Arcadia Bay, or spare the town by letting Chloe die. Did Max save Chloe or save Arcadia Bay? It is one of the harder choices that I've ever had to make in a narrative game, and Chloe did die in Arcadia Bay. Max and Chloe. Max and Chloe had a lifelong bond, which only strengthened as they investigated the mysteries of Arcadia Bay. They became partners in time and partners in crime. I read that exactly backwards. Did Max choose to blossom their partnership into romance or stay as best friends? They were very much best friends. I've talked about it at a couple different points, I think, but maybe we'll touch on this a little bit later. Sophia Llewellyn Fayad. Last winter, Max solved Safi's supernatural murder, using her powers to merge two parallel timelines and restore Safi to life. In the chaos, it was uncovered that Safi was actually a shapeshifter. She was using her powers to enact justice for her friend Maya, who tragically ended her own life. After everything that happened on campus, Safi has chosen to leave Caledon in hopes of finding more people like her and Max. Did Max choose to support Safi's goal or reject her after everything she did for revenge? So, I'm not a big fan of how that's phrased, nor in the recap how it was like to condemn her for the people that she had hurt or something like that. It's not born out of condemnation, and it's not born out of rejecting her for the things that she did for revenge. She has the ability to hurt people, and did so in a way where when she was sort of proposing a future partnership with Max, she was saying, we have these powers, we can do amazing things, I can be whoever I want. It felt a lot like we can rule them as gods. It kept feeling like was gonna be the next phrase out of her mouth. She didn't quite say that, but it felt she was really not somebody that Max Caulfield was going to be able to get behind. So she did, quote unquote, reject Safi, but it was more about trying to communicate to her, you are way out over a ledge on this, Safi. You need to draw back. What happened to Maya was unforgivable, and also you hurt some innocent people along the way. I mean, a lot of innocent people, what with this storm. It wasn't your intent, but it's what happens when you let when these abilities wind up spiraling out of control. And then finally, Vin. Vin was once the head of the mysterious Abraxcast Society, and has now woven himself into the fabric of the campus as the university president's assistant. An unapologetic flirt, Vin has also never met a pretty face he wouldn't take out for a drink, including Max. Did Max explore romance with Vin, or just stay as friends? Oh, okay, well, similar to before, I do think like friends with Vin is a little bit much. I would say that Max and Vin have a non-bitter friendship-like rivalry. I don't know that it's really friendship. I don't dislike Vin, but he can be a bit much. And then as we confirm choices, as with all narrative games, if the characters are talking, I'm not. I do like to look at all of the various things in the game, including the journal entries and the text messages. We'll try to bundle those together so that we can continuously move on with the story, but with that, we will confirm choices and head into the wonderful world of Life is Strange Reunion.
And tell her to get the fuck out of there, okay? I don't know how. Maybe... Hold on. Maybe try reminding her that a drum machine doesn't take up half the van and smell like ass after the gig. 20 minutes? Yeah. Okay. I can make that work.
Last call, dearie. Either your band is heading on stage now, or I call the show.
Fuck. No show means no fee. Means no gas. Means no tour. Means... Fuck!
Oh gosh, what would Chloe do? Chloe would backtalk. Would she threaten? Negotiate. Yeah, she always thinks there's a deal to be made.
Look, I hear you. My drummer's being a real Lars Ulbitch right now. Give me just 20 more minutes.
I told you, it's now or never.
Come on, we know those barflies aren't going anywhere. Just prorate the 20 minutes out of our cut, all right?
I'm taking 30 minutes. You're already 10 over.
Damn it. There goes my new toothbrush money.
Not again. It keeps getting worse. But I just need to find the way out. Assuming there is one.
Okay, I love this. Max's very distinctive double-sided fireplace with the wall from Blackwell.
Now, let's talk business. Wrong. You got hella cash.
Haven't talked this way in years. But why does this feel like it was only yesterday?
Okay, right trigger jogs. Wait, is this a thing? Okay, nope, it's just a glimmer.
How long has this been going on? These nightmares that feel like memories. They're only getting worse.
Stop stalling, Max. Pull the trigger.
Not gonna lie.
That memory can't be real. The Max I know wouldn't shoot anyone. But why does it feel real?
The sound of that gunshot made me jump a little bit.
I'm so glad you're my partner in crime.
As long as you're my partner in time.
See, these are details that Chloe couldn't possibly know. Oh, the lighthouse! Oh!
Max is always on my mind. Lately, I feel like she's the only thing in my mind that belongs there.
That is so awesome. Oh my god. Wait, I'm so sorry. I was looking up. I don't think we missed anything.
I know I'm alive. I've got a decade of memories to prove it. But somewhere, deep in a place I try never to go, I also know I'm dead. Death. The one I begged Max to choose. It feels realer than my life. But how? Max? Who the fuck are you? Max, no! There's one person who can help me understand what the fuck is going on. But why do I keep hallucinating her pointing a gun at me?
What is going on in there? Where the hell is the bad?
I just told you, man. They're on their way. Am I talking to a goldfish, or did the septum piercing get into your brain?
Wow. Okay, fine. I'll go get my camera. Just keep being resplendent till I get back. How long was I gone on this trip? 3 days? Somehow it still feels good to come home to Vermont. My camera is underneath all this. Car packing for dummies. Whatever you need most goes to the back.
And Max officially uses the word resplendent more frequently than I do. Once.
My manager Hazel is always looking out for me.
Could be a good one for Long Vista Monthly, but they pay shit.
And sometimes I want to kill her.
No more photos of your friends, please. Well, that's a great shot. We'll move on, but look at the moonlight, like, rimming his face. Like, lighting up the edge of his face that way. That looks fantastic. Magnifique. This is very nice. This is also extremely nice. I would rather have this on my wall. I would rather have this on, like, in an art gallery. Because this is a very nice sunset. This is somebody who cares about something very deeply. Astronomy. All right, let's see what else we've got in here.
This weekend was the height of my professional success. And I survived it on donuts and coffee. My most trusted companion. I always tell my students that a key to being an artist is a daily journal practice. Sometimes I even follow it myself. After last year, it was time to start fresh with a new journal.
Okay, I really like that she goes with a deer-themed journal. Reading the journal is very important for understanding what's happened since the previous game, how Max is feeling about life, who she's been interacting with. Hey everyone, Angel from the future here. We're about to go through Max's journal and text messages, and as usual, there's some updates in here about how things have been going for Max and her friends since the events of Double Exposure. It's really helpful to catch us up on things that Max would obviously already know about. It's also, well, it's a lot of expository reading right here at the very start of episode 1. So if you'd like to move ahead with the main story, go ahead and jump to the time code shown here on the screen. It'll take you right back into the present day and move ahead with the story. I'm always intimidated when I'm starting a new journal. It feels like I'm supposed to be making some sort of grand statement, especially since I haven't had much to say since the storm that changed everything, trademark, last year. Well, that's somewhere to start. Last year it felt like everything was falling apart when my friend Safi died, and then I found a world where Safi wasn't dead and a new ability to jump between realities, and then everything really did fall apart until Safi and I managed to put it back together. I've been thinking about Chloe a lot. I mean, I always did, but ever since the storm, it's been a sort of constant presence. It's not a bad thing, actually. It feels like I'm more connected to her than any point since she died, but it's intense. In some ways, there's very little to report. Same place, same house, same life. After so many years of endlessly moving around, one adventure to the next, I've suddenly found myself, I don't know, cocooned? But in other ways, I've been going through a bit of a metamorphosis. When Yasmin asked me to teach full-time, I was shocked. I thought she was joking, but after attending a few of my workshops, she was confident I could do it, and here's the second shock, it looks like she was right. I love teaching, I care about my students, and being the kind of teacher who nurtures them in a way mine never did. To put it mildly, yes, I can think of at least one teacher who was not very good with the nurturing. Moving on. Maybe that's enough. For now, it definitely is, but for how long? It's not that I feel stuck exactly, but is this what I've been building towards all this time? Am I ready to commit to this place, to this version of me? Maybe that's why I said yes when my agent Hazel, holy crap, I have an agent now, suggested I spend the weekend in New York. Maybe I can get my on-the-road fix while still putting down some roots. But then she sent me some interview questions in advance and ugh. Where do you get your inspiration from? Is it too weird to say that I'm inspired by death? Not inspired exactly. Driven by death? Defined by death? Sorry, that's super depressing, except I think that Max Caulfield might be extremely defined by death. What the hell would someone say to that? Sorry about your weird life. Stop crying on my notes. Actually, this is a reporter, so the next question would be, then why is your work so much less depressing lately? No urban landscapes, no rusted rebar, you're even getting into portraiture. And yeah, I guess Caledon has been good for me. It feels alive in a way that doesn't hurt anymore. I'd already broken into every derelict building and bowling alley last year, so this year I just kind of learned how to live with the living again. This is why I don't do interviews. And then, sorry, the bowling alley monster is down there. I don't remember his name, except I do remember Max getting that extremely mold-infested stuffed toy. We will go check on the text messages very quickly. Like, even her hobbies leading into the previous game were breaking into derelict buildings, places that people had once been, and now were just remnants of the people, memories of the people that used to be there. She is very much defined by loss and the loss of people, or at least has been traditionally. So here's Amanda. Amanda asks, how was class today? Max replies, it was great. We found a handful of squirrels and some finches. I thought I saw a hermit thrush, but it flew away before I got to the right page in my field guide. Amanda loves it. Hey, the Turtle's having a movie night tomorrow. I need a spooky, autumnal, family-friendly film. Any thoughts? Max writes, let me bring over my DVD binders. I have a bunch of options. Wait, family-friendly? I don't know if I have anything. She's all horror movies all the time these days. She used to be a lot of sci-fi too. Amanda says that's what Vin said. It was good seeing you tonight. Max says, great seeing you. If you ever want to do a family unfriendly night, I'm happy to lend my film collection. Hey, just checking in. How are you doing? Amanda says, not bad. Heading out for a date with a girl in Battleboro who has a pet parrot. Either they have a very open relationship or they are no longer together. Are you sure she wasn't a pirate in disguise? Asks Max. Amanda says, hold on. She's asking if I have any pieces of 8. I assume that's a new kind of indica edible. Okay, the parrot was way too loud, and Pirate Girl is still working things out with her ex, so that's out. Max says, why are the cute ones always emotionally unavailable? And Amanda says, you tell me. I guess I deserve that, says Max. Amanda says, you don't, and I'm sorry. It's just you and I get along so well, sometimes I wonder why we broke up. Okay, so I'm just going to note very quickly, this is why the text messages are so important, because we're learning a lot about where things are. Max says, I know, I'm sorry we weren't quite right for each other, but you're still one of my favorite people in Lakeport, and I'm really glad that we're friends, assuming you still want to be friends. Amanda says, say no more, and same to you. Later, she says, hey, you free this Friday? I was talking to my new bartender about what we could do to help Lakeport after the storm, and long story short, we're having an open mic night. I'm going to do stand-up. Max says, wait, this Friday? I'm so sorry I can't come. My agent set up a couple gallery shows in New York City. I have to leave right after my class. Amanda says, that's amazing, congratulations. Max says, mind if I stop by the Turtle tonight? I have to choose a couple prints to bring with me, and I'd love a second opinion. Amanda says, you're on. I'll have a free drink waiting at the bar for the almost birthday girl. Oh, it's almost her birthday. When is this? Based on all the leaves, it's got to be fall. Did we ever know Max's birthday? I legitimately don't know if it ever came up, and I won't wonder about it. So here's Agent Hazel. Bouchon Gallery in Soho and Ashford and Williamsburg, both interested, trying to pit them together against each other on the fee. More to come. Max says that's great news. Hazel says Aperture wants to include you in a feature, something about post-industrial naturalism, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I'd rather have you on your own spread. Max says, holy shit, I mean Aperture, I'm honored to even be considered. Hazel says, well, they're lucky to have you. Trust me, I know most of the editors there, they're dying for young talent. Okay, things are happening. I want to get you down to New York for some gallery tours, the 2 I mentioned above, plus maybe a couple more if I can lock them in. Max is very excited. I'll look at my calendar. When are you thinking? Hazel says, don't kill me. Can you do this weekend? Max will look into it right away and then says she's in. Hazel says, excellent. Finalizing plans now. We'll send you the itinerary. Get excited. I think she's ahead of you, Hazel. This is going to be huge for you. So this is what Max meant when she was saying this was the highlight of my professional career so far. Moses, I love Moses so much. Tony says he might make it out for Thanksgiving, but Labor Day is a no-go. Max is saying, I'm so sorry, I was really looking forward to meeting him. Moses says it's hard. I know we're both busy, and I don't mind waiting for holidays, but when he says he can come and then cancels, Max says, oh, I know. Okay, I have an idea for something that might cheer you up, but it should wait until next week. For now, want to meet at the Turtle and commiserate. Moses says sure. Then, I guess it's later, I know you hated every minute of our Machine Angel Marathon, but it means a lot to me that you wanted to cheer me up. Oh, that's like the anime that he really likes. I think in the first game he had loaned her like the box set and she had never watched it still. She writes back, Moses, it was my absolute pleasure to try and fail to understand what that sexy robot was doing. And I guess later, hey, are we on for 2 today? Moses says, yes, sorry, we have a faculty meeting with President Teller. Okay, President Teller is going to be important on Monday. I assume that's Yasmin's replacement. My advisor's asking me to prep some slides on the future of physics. Just put your face on the last slide, says Max. No, apparently people hate his face for some reason, even when it's looking at the moon. Moses says, I don't think he has that sense of humor, or any sense of humor, but yes, I should be done by 2. Max wants to know if she can help. Moses says, bring marshmallows, but then writes, do you want to cancel for today? Max says, why would I? Moses says, because I'm guessing you still haven't packed for your trip. Max says, well, I moved all my clothes onto the bed. Progress is being made. I love the passive voice. Oh, Max Caulfield. But I don't need to cancel. I want to run a couple outfit ideas by you anyway. Moses says, see you at 2. Sounds like we won't get much testing done this time. Then, hey, you're back in town tomorrow night, right? Max says yes, sometime in the evening. If this is some sort of a surprise birthday thing, I would love to opt out. Moses says, oh, right, your birthday was yesterday. Slipped my mind. It's been a crazy weekend. There's a lot happening, like a lot. Then Max asks if everything is okay. Just focus on your trip and I'll fill you in when you get back. Oh, he would be on the phone in 5 minutes. As soon as I was in the car to drive back, like my mind was clear from the trip. Hi, Moses, what's up? Because that sounds very concerning. I guess it could be a good thing, but from what we know of Moses, let's not speculate, we'll move forward. Just the way that Moses phrases that, for other people, I would think like Amanda was keeping us in suspense or super breaking up with us. Otherwise, for Moses, that sounds bad.
I never figured out who this was, but it's nice that somebody cared.
Yo, Max, I get it if I'm the last person you wanted to hear from. Saw on the news about the storm, and I hope you're all right. Well, that could be Safi. It could be Safi, except that doesn't really seem like how she wrote. She was a writer, so the lowercase y, the lack of punctuation. I know it's a text message, but that doesn't feel like Safi. It could be Chloe? Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out. So, oh no, this is Safi, so I take it all back. I should have run one text down. Max was writing, how's the road? Where even are you? You haven't answered my calls or texts. I miss you. Just let me know that you're okay, please. Safi wrote back, stop texting me. You told me where you stood before on the Overlook. You weren't there for me then. No need to pretend you are now. Max says, that's not fair. I still care about you. Just call me back. Are you there? Hey, just hope you're okay. That's all. Call me. Since there's no dates, we should assume, especially the way that Max herself will go incommunicado, these could have been and probably were weeks apart. That would just be my suspicion. Here's Vin. Amanda's having a back-to-school night in the Turtle. Are you in? Max says I shouldn't. I only have a few more days until my first class starts. I have to revise my syllabus, make sure I have the class portal set up. Ugh. Moses says, I have imposter syndrome, but I never finished high school. Can you really call it imposter syndrome if you're an actual imposter? Vin says, oh dear, a classic case of the jitters. Step 1, take a deep breath. Max writes back, oh, and I need to check if the waivers are required for classes that meet outside of normal. Deep breaths, got it. Vin says, I just ordered you a Cosmo. Meet me at the bar for step 2. Max says, fine. Vin says, it was good to see you tonight, and remember what I said, fake it till you make it. Your students are so excited to learn from a famous photographer, and once they meet you, they'll be excited to learn from you. Don't stress. So I'm kind of becoming a fan of Vin right now. He actually is being like a really solid friend here. Max writes, I mean it. Thanks, I mean it. Vin says, I'm going to kill Owen. Do we know Owen? I don't know an Owen that I can remember. Max says, what did he do now? Vin says he got all snooty because I didn't understand the neuroplasticity of large language models. So becoming less of a fan of Owen. They haven't even met the man yet, but they needed help with the copy machine. Classic Owen. Vin says, I have a lot of large language to feed that guy. Max is torn. On the one hand, I like having a friend in the president's office, and on the other, Vin says, you want to watch me verbally eviscerate Owen? Max says it's a real conundrum. Hey, I saw an audition street in Lakeport this afternoon. I think it was on an all-male take on The Taming of the Shrew, just a heads up. Vin is aware. Max says, you don't like that theater company? ? Vin says, I do not. The artistic director is a talentless hack. Also, we dated for a while in sophomore year. Then says, hey, are you coming to Amanda's open mic thing? Max says, I can't tell you the whole story when I get back, but for now, is there anything you want from NYC? Vin says, black and white cookie. They don't have those in Vermont, it turns out. He very much wants a black and white cookie. And then Yasmin says, Maxine, hello. I've missed you since leaving campus. Are you well? Max says, President Fayyad, it's so nice to hear from you. Yasmin says, please, it's former president, if anything, but I much prefer Yasmin. Max says, you got it, Yasmin. Things are great. I love my class, and the students are so smart and inquisitive. And my new agent, Hazel, has really been pushing my work to galleries and magazines. I'm so grateful for you for getting me the instructor role. Yasmin says, that's so exciting. You earned your new role entirely on your own merits. You're a great artist. You deserve to have your work appreciated on campus and out in the world. Max says, thank you. Yasmin says, I've been desperately trying to reach Safia. Have you heard from her? This is probably much later. Max writes back, I'm sorry, no, just a single text, but no information about where she is or what she's doing. Yasmin says, it's the same for me, I'm worried. And Max says, I know, me too. So there's a couple interesting details in here. Yasmin was driven from the campus in shame due to her role in covering up the plagiarism of the writer guy, it'll come to me in a second, and which then subsequently led to the death of Maya Okada. The idea that she would have had a role in getting Max an instructor role, that this was Yasmin's doing, is very interesting. It sounds like maybe she was able to patch things up and begin to repair her reputation, or maybe just had friends on the board that were still like of a mind to listen to her and didn't feel like Max's professional development should have been ruined by Yasmin's problem. And also, I just want to say, any professional price that Yasmin Fayyad is paying for her role in covering up that plagiarism, she deserves. Like, that is an unconscionable betrayal of the trust of the students, and it had devastating consequences for Maya and Maya's family and everybody that knew Maya, including her own daughter. And separately, Yasmin is worried about the well-being of her own daughter. And that's a very human thing, and I feel for her on that. And that is the last text message. Press back to check your journal. Take a photo of the sunset. Oh, the sunset 20 minutes ago. We won't worry about that. Okay, very nice hat.
My agent Hazel said I need to look more like an artist. So I bought this hat. I think I'll stick to looking like Max.
Okay, anything else?
1 gallery showing, 3 magazine meetings, and 1 commission proposal. So of course I packed 25 different outfits.
I legitimately think it's better to have too many outfits than to arrive and realize that you don't have the right one for what you need.
Some of my students take my class so seriously, it's intimidating.
I use a 24mm prime lens at f2.8. I don't know how to say that. With mid-afternoon overcast conditions and an aluminum bounce board for the key. My intention was to capture the malevolence of the subject, A+ word there, particular in the eyes, in which I use point lighting to accentuate the inherent sinister qualities. I want to see this picture. And Max writes, excellent work, you really brought the subject to life.
Loretta is smart enough to half-ass her assignments and get away with it.
Oh, Loretta. I use my phone to capture a still life of my recorder and a bottle of beer. I want to explore compositional enjambment, a new concept I invented to express my feelings about love of journalism and how it interferes with my ability to have a social life. I like the very expressive from Max, and then Max writes, compositionally very effective. Next time, focus in on how the lighting can sculpt your intended emotion. She literally snapped a... So by recorder, even then I was thinking like she meant musical instrument. No, she took a picture of an audio recorder and a bottle of beer and then made up a story about what it meant. I do kind of like that from Loretta, and I'm still not a huge Loretta fan overall. She's young, she has time to grow. Loretta did not make the best of first impressions, but a better second impression, because I remember that she was very concerned in an extremely human way for Reggie. I remember that.
The further my life takes me, the more I find myself coming back to this trusty old friend.
Wait, look is on here. Okay, so there are details to discover on these.
Nothing like a satisfying click, a soothing whir, and a toasty photo blossoming into view.
Also, I really like the reflection on that. That looks great.
The selfie I took just before this trip. I think I knew I'd want to hold on to this moment. Time for your close-up.
Oh, can we get a picture of this squirrel? Oh, and the tree. Hold on, I don't want to zoom in. This is a really nice picture. Oh, the squirrel ran away. All right, let's see if we can get like this tree. Darn it, wrong button. I like it. Yeah, and I feel like double exposure is only going to ruin it, so... Okay, reading through, Moses writes, are you back? Are you safe? Max writes, of course I'm safe. I'm still on the road. What's going on? Moses says, stay away for now. There's some kind of attack on campus. Max writes, oh my god, what's happening? Are you okay? Moses is headed to the observatory. There are students trapped. It's a fire spreading quick, really bad. Moses writes, stay away. I'll let you know when it's clear. And Max writes, I'm coming to help. I'll be there soon. Stay safe.
Something horrible is happening on campus. I've got to get back now. I've been gone for 3 days and all hell has broken loose. This is so horrible. The Abraxcast logo. Killers. What does all this mean?
Where's the damn fire department? They're all tied up at that destroyed building where this mess started. Fremont? But all the students are down here! Fuck!
All units on site, 1082 at the Fine Arts Building. Repeat, all units.
Damn it! Come on!
Loretta's march? What does Loretta have to do with all of this?
This corrupt and criminal administration will not silence us. We'll make our voices heard. 9:22, 7 p.m. admin building. Rise up, rise up. Right, because what's-his-face couldn't make it for Labor Day. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm already forgetting his name. It's not super important right now. But this is September.
Where did all this come from?
Get us out of here!
No! Hang on! I will get help!
Oh, emergency phone.
Someone set this fire on purpose.
Okay, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time not being on the emergency phone.
Damn it! Security! There's students trapped in the atrium!
No shit, you need to clear out now!
The whole campus is burning. This is so horrible.
Max! Help!
Moses? Hold on! I'm coming!
Max, hurry, the roof is caving in!
No. Come on. Come on. I'll save you, Moses. I'll save everyone. Just give me time. No smoke. No screams. I did it. Oh God, I did it. I jumped into a photo again. I'm sure this won't have terrible, far-reaching consequences for the school or the people I love. What have I done? It's Friday. The fire started Sunday evening. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have come back. Maybe I'll just fuck everything up. But maybe I can't fuck it up any more than it already was. I'm here now. I can do something. I have to do something.
Sun
Okay, as we sit at this contemplation point, Max, I don't know what more you could fuck up. Like, that is a mass casualty event that you just witnessed, and I hated being there and not being able to get those people out of that burning building. That is, to be so close and yet not able to render assistance. If you can do anything about it, let's press B, because I feel like even now, what is it, 3 days before?
What did I do after I took this photo? It feels like a lifetime ago. Yes, I was going to see Moses. If anyone will know what to do, it's the physicist who studies time travel. And we will do something. My powers are complicated, and they can be dangerous. But this is my home, and I won't let it. Oh my God.
So the thing is, she already had this photograph, so the fact that now there's a different image imprinted on it, this is what she used to come back in time. It's interesting that where she came from is also on the image.
Hi, Hazel.
Max, big night tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm sorry. Something really, really big has come up. I can't make it this weekend.
You are kidding me. Max, these are not the kind of people you want to cancel on.
I'm so sorry for the late notice. I only just found out myself.
Okay, I see this all the time. Young, talented artist on the verge of stardom. You're feeling some jitters. I get it.
No, it's not that. I know what I need to do. It's so peaceful. But for how long? Moses should be waiting for me in his office.
Okay, I didn't know if we would get some more. Oh, hold on. We are getting a message. Max is writing to Loretta. Hey, Loretta, just checking, is everything okay? Loretta writes, yes, Max, why do you ask? Max writes, no real reason, but please tell me if there's anything dangerous going on with you. Loretta says, none more than usual. Again, what is this about? Max writes, it's nothing, I promise, just checking in. Loretta says, all right, well, thanks for the super weird check-in, I guess. Yes, I mean, just having a random text from your professor saying, hey, just wanted to make sure you haven't done anything dangerous recently is a really weird text, or that you're not in a dangerous situation. Also, yes, I will meet Moses for hot chocolate. I did not get him his hot chocolate in double exposure, and I have felt guilty about it ever since, so yeah, please. Okay, so our journal has been updated. Breathe, just breathe, don't pass out, there's too much to do. I smelled the fire before I saw it. The smoke was thick by the time I drove into campus. I was already starting to wonder what I could do. If I used my powers, would it help or just make everything worse? Then I saw Moses and I stopped thinking at all. Moses and I have spent this year studying Rewind. It took a lot of convincing, but after seeing what happened when Safi lost control of her powers, he was certain that the more we know, the safer I'll be. Moses treats my power like a question that can be answered, not a curse or liability. It's been a long time since I've felt like that. We never tested my ability to rewind into a photo. As badly as Moses wanted to study it, after hearing about everything that happened in Arcadia Bay, he agreed it wasn't worth the risk, and it wasn't up until the moment he fell through the roof. One thing was clear. After months of testing, I can theoretically use my powers, all of my powers, without breaking the world. Guess it's time to test that theory. What even happened here? I was gone for a weekend and everything went to shit. I took crosstalk off my phone. Pros, productivity boost. Cons, didn't hear about a disaster on campus. In his text, Moses was clearly waiting until I got home to tell me something. But if a violent protest was closing in, would he really be cryptic about it? I don't think he would. I was saying earlier that the lack of specificity kind of made me concerned, but if it was something that dangerous, Moses would have said place and time. Okay, what do I know so far? I heard the cops talking about a house called Fremont. That's where the fire started. And the protest, did Loretta start a mob? I know she can be tenacious, but that would be a new level. I don't think so. If Loretta brought them something explosive enough, a mob might form, but she would never do it on purpose. Again, I have my issues with Loretta, but I have my issues with Loretta in the way that I would with a teenager, which is like, she just needs to learn a better way to be, and I think that she has a lot of promise. I don't think that that was her. Will Moses think I did the right thing? Thankfully, I don't have to sit and wonder. He's still alive, so I can go ask him. Okay, to quickly view your main objective. Oh, and there it is. Yes, we will meet him for hot chocolate in a minute. Up to open the camera. Oh, for this, for sure.
Is a jack-o'-lantern series too on the nose for a New England photographer?
No, I love all of these. I love every single one of them. These are some awesome jack-o'-lanterns. Can I zoom in a little bit? That is some great jack-o'-lanterns. Save.
He's smiling, but you know he feels empty inside.
Do these guys? They seem like they were painted entirely on the outside. It's fine.
His students don't call him Space Daddy for nothing, no matter how often he tells them not to.
Astrophysics is for everyone, a no dumb questions introduction to the stars, not just the one star. All right, these people are having their interaction.
I told Moses they should add a laser light show, but apparently that's not the point of planetariums.
Oh, no comment on this. I think a presentation on black holes would be really interesting. I feel like of all the ways to die, black holes are not the way that I would want to go. Podcast flyers. Hold on, let's look over here first. Oh, look at this awesome screen. Is this a projector screen? I don't see one. Okay, I don't think that's text that we can read. No. No, it's just a giant black panel. Oh, another photo. I like that.
Your Honor, my head's not in the clouds. It's up in space.
That mask is reflecting everything except us. That's a Sphere reference for all you kids. Pretty good movie. Okay book. No, it's a very, very, very good book. I didn't so much care for where it wound up, but that's a story for a different time. You've discovered a flyer for a podcast. Select listen to sit down and listen to it. Keep an eye out for more. Is this the Abraxcast with Loretta Rice? Caledon's first podcast dedicated to exposing the secrets of the Abraxas Society. Okay. Let's give it a listen.
secrets, corruption, occultism, power. Welcome back to Abraxcast, Caledon's only podcast dedicated to uncovering the hidden underbelly of the Abraxas Society. I am your host, Loretta Rice. This is episode 4, The Hall of Secrets. It has long been known that Abraxas is no ordinary campus club. It seems to operate by its own rules and logic. Take their recent battle with the administration over housing. The Abraxas House is a Caledon-owned building at the periphery of Lakeport. After the storm, President Owen Teller declared the building uninhabitable and quickly advanced plans to have it condemned. Now, whatever one thinks about the administration's expansion plans, branded Caledon 2.0, university bylaws are very clear that Abraxas students must submit to relocation or risk disciplinary action. But this is not what happened. Instead, students have been returning to the building, squatting in their old rooms, and staging disruptive protests. The planned demolition has been set back indefinitely. Now, my role as a journalist is not to pick sides, but to uncover the truth. And I have come to believe that the reason for Abraxas's peculiar leverage may rest inside the very house they are illegitimately occupying. Sources tell me of a section in the Abraxas house known as the Hall of Secrets. What is contained within it? No one knows. But I'm told it has been passed down for decades and remains very well concealed from even the most senior Abraxas members. It stands to reason that these secrets hold the key to understanding not just Abraxas, but also its peculiar hold over Caledon University. I, your faithful reporter, will not rest until I have uncovered the Hall of Secrets myself and revealed what lies within.
I have a feeling Loretta is going to be super disappointed if and when she gets into the Abraxas Hall of Secrets and discovers that it is, in fact, the pig skull that they stole from Caledon's closest sports rival, and a bar tab, and like a big mat. It's just a bunch of like dumb crap that they've imbued with a lot of meaning, but ultimately has nothing to do at all with anything. And they're coasting off the reputation that they have something explosive, when in fact it's just a bunch of drunk frat boys.
Chloe made a model of the solar system for the Blackwell Science Fair. I wonder if Joyce still has it. Yasmin's replacement has some big ideas for the school. Kinda wish he'd keep them to himself.
Dr. Owen Teller will be the first to admit that he has big shoes to fill. In September, he became Caledon University's new president after the longtime tenure of Dr. Yasmin Fayyad. Since then, he's faced many detractors who question whether his proposed campus expansion and corporate partnerships are in keeping with Caledon's values. But Teller is undeterred. As a proud Caledon alumnus, I am delighted to return to my alma mater and shepherd the school into a new era, he tells me over a cappuccino in the school's Everett Observatory cafe. Caledon has weathered many storms in the past, both literal and reputational, but as we begin the arduous work of rebuilding... ... I promise you a bold new Caledon.
Come for the world-class education, stay for the timeshare presentation.
Recovery will be holding workshops on Monday the 23rd. At 10 a.m., Careers in Pharmaceuticals, how recovery can help you. 2 p.m., drug therapies, recovery making a difference. 4 p.m., resume reviews or resume reviews, and informational interviews with representatives from Recovery Pharmaceuticals. Resume, then, for sure. If your class usually meets here on Monday, please check your student portal for the alternative meeting location. I don't think that's what's happening in there. If so, the job interview is going very poorly.
My classroom is the great outdoors. At least until it starts snowing. Moses, I'm from the future. I bring dark tidings of... No, too biblical.
I told Dr. Jordan he didn't need to convince me. My own conversations with you were sufficient, not to mention your student ratings. Your intro courses are 9s in a sea of 4s. For you to be so highly regarded, especially by non-majors, is... Well, very highly regarded, it seems.
Max? You okay?
Sorry. Long day. You were saying?
I was just telling Moses that he is officially invited to join the Caledon faculty once he becomes Dr. Murphy next year.
Right, the job offer. I remember. I mean... It was a foregone conclusion. Moses is the best. Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm still taking it in. But President Teller's plans for the physics department are very exciting.
This building is the one real investment that Caledon has made in the sciences. With 4 departments under one roof, we need to expand. And that's just the beginning. In a few years, the whole school will look like this, a cutting-edge research institution to rival MIT.
I thought most students came to Caledon for liberal arts.
Currently, yes. But if we want to remain competitive and move past the events of last year, Caledon needs to modernize. Dr. Fayyad was a great leader, and she had an eye for talent. Finding Moses was one of her many successes. But she had an idealistic streak, which reminds me, Max, do your students still have all A's?
Everyone who's still in the class has an A, but plenty of students dropped when they realized how tough it would be.
I noticed that too. Not the academic curve we strive for, but perhaps that wasn't covered in your orientation.
Max isn't a traditional academic, but she's amazing with her students. Like you said, Yasmin has an eye for talent. She was even talking about creating a photography major.
It's not that I doubt your talent, Max. You're just a beneficiary of her short-sightedness. I mean, an instructor with no teaching experience or terminal degree, living rent-free in the house that was once reserved for visiting luminaries? It's like, how was this allowed to happen?
Wow. I do not remember this conversation being such a disaster.
Well, duty calls. Moses, contact my office if you have any questions about the offer.
Man, that guy is just dying to fire me.
You already knew about my job offer. But you had to remember, so... You're not rewinding from later today, are you?
You're good. I'm back from Sunday.
Did you jump back into a photo? We agreed that that was too dangerous.
Sorry, I hate that guy like lice. Oh my god.
I acted on instinct. I hope it was the right choice.
What happened? Did something go wrong with the gallery show?
No, the show was great, incredible, but while I was gone, something at Caledon went very, very wrong. There was a protest about something. It turned into a riot. By the time I got back, the whole campus was on fire. Look.
That's definitely the campus on fire. Compositionally, it is a bit more abstract than usual.
I wasn't trying to take a photo. I dropped my camera when I saw you. Moses, I'm sorry, but I saw you.
Oh. Wow. Where was I?
On the roof. I tried to help, but I couldn't get inside.
Working on a Sunday. I need more hobbies. Okay. Before you came back here through the photo, did you try to rewind in the fire?
I did not forget that she could. When it was all unfolding, I was like, what good would it do? Like, she can't rewind to a point before she even arrived. I didn't know if I should is closer.
I wasn't sure if I should. I've used my powers to save people before. It doesn't always end well.
Yet you came back here. And I'm glad you did.
I've never felt so powerless before. All that destruction, and there was nothing I could do.
That's not true. You bought us time. Time that we'll make the most of. So, where should we start? Fire department? They'll just laugh at us. We should act normal. Search for clues, talk to suspects without rousing suspicion. Which is exactly what your powers are perfect for. Did we do any rewind testing when you were here the first time?
No, we just talked about my trip over hot chocolate.
Then let's change that.
Let's talk about it over whiskey.
We'll practice your skills, and if you run into any danger this weekend, you'll be ready.
Feels like a more appropriate drink for this.
Let's get to work.
Moses is right. I need to be prepared for this weekend. We've covered a lot of ground these past months together. People started talking about Safi's death like it was a bad dream. Then they stopped talking about it at all.
Local meteorologists are struggling to explain how a Category 3 storm could strike the area with no warning last week. But as the town of Lakeport struggles to rebuild, even stranger questions are coming to light. Caledon University graduate student Sophia Llewellyn Fayyad was seen on campus on the same day that Lakeport police were interviewing suspects regarding her death. This reporter remembers reading Llewellyn Fayyad's obituary in this very paper, though electronic records from that day have become corrupted and inaccessible. Oh my god, that's so... Just... It's not that they were changed, it's that like they're corrupt, they're damaged files now. That's just really interesting. Interviews with Caledon students and faculty revealed further discrepancies. None of them had any memory of Llewellyn Fayyad's death, though some recalled seeing a flower-covered memorial on campus the previous week. Llewellyn Fayyad was unavailable for comment. Sorry, that's just extremely cool that, like, there was like a localized event where I remember everybody sort of reassembling their memories, but that it extended obviously far beyond the campus because it would have been a local story. They never did explain the cop that like got vanished. Maybe we'll get some clarity on that, but like that wasn't it an FBI agent too? Whoever it was like showed up and was then erased from the timeline altogether, and it was just super weird that was never like called back. Here though, there were enough people that remembered an alternate version of events that Max sort of single-handedly created her own Mandela effect here, which is super cool.
After everything with the timelines last year, Moses thinks my powers might have evolved in other ways. Not sure if I want to know if he's right.
Theoretical new powers, fast forward, tailored rewind, rewinding one item, area, person, but not the rest, photo jumping into photos, Max isn't in, some success in the past, but inconclusive, possibly unsafe. Like, unsafe, she was going very far back in time. Okay, well, she was going back in time and then taking actions that would have unforeseeable consequences, that kind of butterfly effect, so I can imagine being extremely leery to ever do it again. Photo jumping into a photo and remaining indefinitely, which apparently is what we're doing now. Like, sorry, did I say this earlier? Previously, when Max would, in the first game, when she would travel back into a photo, there were boundaries. There was like this white void that she couldn't like escape. It was sort of a bubble that existed around the space where she had taken the photo, and it didn't seem particularly consistent in terms of its diameter. Maybe it had to do with the age of the photo, maybe it had to do with how well she was able to connect to it, but this is just a straight, like, jumping 3 days back and apparently remaining here. Unsure if ramifications, won't test. Discovering and shifting to other timelines, splitting the timeline in two again, no plans for test, could kill Safi. Or all of reality. Yeah, I'd really tread lightly on a lot of these things.
Moses has been tracking weather patterns along with our rewind testing. No correlation yet.
To see if a new storm or if there was any dramatic meteorological shift.
I'm a good guinea pig.
Oh, look at the blur around her. That's interesting that it's caught on camera.
For the most part.
And here she is. So she's standing on an X there. This was one of their experiments. I don't get it yet. Because then who was taking these photographs? They could have been timed, whatever.
Yeah. About that whole avoid section.
Oh, we'll get to it. Safe, rewinding 5 minutes or less, rewinding with objects, small changes made in the past, rewinding in front of others. And then brackets, why don't people notice when Max teleports? Perceptual completion, the influence of schemas. I regret that I don't know enough about what schema means in that context. Untested, timeline shifting, no evidence of other timeline scenes since the merge. Avoid, photo jumping, large changes made in the past.
No crazy storms in the 9 months that we've been testing my powers. That's something.
It's something, and it's going to take us to why I wasn't able to save Chloe in the first game, but again, let's move on for now. Attempted to capture footage of subject during a teleportation test using infrared camera. As expected, footage showed hot spots at subject starting and ending positions with a slight change in atmospheric temperature consistent with subject's path across the room. You guys, that's so awesome! Moses has always been like a cool dude, but like the idea of monitoring this, but like, what did he see? It doesn't matter, we'll move on. What did the camera show is what I meant. No testing lunch in Burlington. 8:16, repetition testing. Subject broke, rewound, and unbroke the same mug 20 times. No nosebleeds or fatigue. No future repetition tests per subject's request. 8:23, no testing. Subject needed tech support with the Caledon teacher portal. 8:30, discuss plans for future tests. Monthly check of subject's vitals, no change. 9:06, no testing. Machine Angel Marathon. It's a good reason to skip your superpower testing, and I mean that sincerely. You need time off. 9:13, testing the upper limits of subject's rewind window. I love that she's subject, and they don't name her in this written document that's on the wall. Although in other places on the whiteboard it does say Max. Regardless, subject and tester set a timer for 10 minutes. When alarm sounded, subject rewound as far back as she could without strain. Average rewind time after 5 attempts, 5 minutes 42 seconds. No nosebleeds or fatigue. I love the fact this is like Ghostbusters for time travel, or superpowers specifically. I just really, really like the fact that he is putting boundaries around it and then testing and retesting to make sure that it works properly, that it works consistently. Anything else on here? We cannot examine the markers, rather. Schrodinger's equation. I love that we get to revisit this space and it is simultaneously different and also similar. Oh, did they put up the mural? They did, and it looks a little smeary. I wish we could look at it. Like, examine it, have Max do a comment on it. But maybe at this point, that's just completely unremarkable.
Moses' pride and joy. Though he hasn't had as much time for the stars since he started studying my powers. Moses likes working on this when I'm around. I'm his Control Z.
Oh. If he makes a mistake, she undoes it. I love it. I'm so sorry, Moses. I will be with you. For Max, it's been actually 0 days since she was here because she rewound past the weekend. For me, it's been well over a year.
Moses is so passionate about physics, but as far as I can tell, physics is just loading screens.
And 3 body problems.
Tony and Moses make it look easy. How do you keep somebody that close for that long?
Hey Boo, hope you're enjoying your favorite season. Sorry I can't visit until Thanksgiving, but until then, enjoy the flowers. Love, Tony. Tony has to be the guy from the first game. I feel like I don't quite remember the name, but they've been together clearly for a long time.
Safi's been radio silent for almost a year. I wish we knew where she was.
I really like the gingerbread thing. The fact that she signed the little chimney and then Max brought it over to Moses in Dead World so that he knew that he had this like material reminder that she was okay someplace and still loved him. I thought that was really cool.
I'm 90% sure that Harold isn't real. Moses just made up a fake grad student to get an office all to himself.
Moses, you have the run of this entire lab. Please leave me my little fiefdom, this humble desk and computer. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I would love if there weren't any simulations running on this machine when I get back. Sorry, looking at this very quickly, this does not look like a font. No, it's not. The E's are different. So, like, when we saw Max's writing, that was a font. At least it looked like it to me. This somebody hand wrote, and I've mentioned this in the past. And look, you can see the computer screen underneath the paper. Oh, what a fun touch. 3D printer. Looking like it's printing out a second Axe guy. I gotta say, the original Axe guy looks like he's doing just fine, but maybe we're gonna do time testing with Axe guys.
I was really worried when Moses said I should practice my powers. But he was sure we could do it safely, and so far, he's been right. You really missed your calling as the host of a children's science show.
There's still time. Let's begin. What was drawn on that card?
Seriously?
I never joke about testing, Max.
And yet you're such a ham. One moment. Time to fire up my rewind powers so I can grab that index card before Moses rips it. Yoink.
Welcome back.
Who's this formidable fellow?
That is the evil Swordmaster Frostbite from No True Samurai. Test number 1. Tell me who killed him.
I have no idea. Let me guess. I can find the answer somewhere in this very room.
Who cares? It's a one-strike question. Test failed.
You're the worst.
Okay, we know that we're gonna have to find it in the past anyway. Learn who killed Swordmaster. Probably one of these toys. I do like off-market Deadpool over there. I remember that person from the previous game as well.
Who was the murder victim? Frostbite? Maybe a fire flinger did the deed.
How about Lady RoboCop? No, that's more like Cylon. I like that top person, though. That looks pretty cool. Oh, Alien.
I doubt this little guy starred in No True Samurai. But anime can surprise me.
It would be super cool if this guy killed the samurai. Oh.
How dare Moses be good at art and physics? Some of us can barely be good at one thing.
Okay, Max, but we've all seen the drawings in your journal. Come on. I know that nobody is a harsher critic of artists than the artists themselves, but... Oh.
Are you my mystery killer?
Boy, look at this thing. Look at how, like, nicely detailed this is. I would straight buy this. Well, I guess I wouldn't buy this because I don't know who this person is, but in terms of quality, I really like the quality of this 3D model in the game, and within the game world, that seems like a collectible worth having.
A high school girl? The plot thickens. But what's her name?
No True Samurai. Swordmaster Frostbite has plans for world domination, and nothing can stop him until a bookish high school girl learns that she is the reincarnation of an ancient samurai warrior. With her two best friends, Hana Ishihara and Izumi Kanda, our hero must find the courage to face Swordmaster Frostbite and save the world. But how can she prevail? After all, she is no true samurai. He's got a power fist. Okay, let's have a quick jaunt upstairs.
A cutting from Maya's memorial tree. We're planning to give it to Sophie, if she ever comes back.
Did we ever see the memorial tree? I think I remember seeing it like spawn, like it had sort of instantiated inside the bowling alley, inside the rift. But I don't think that we ever saw it in real life, and I might be wrong.
Aw, May's at the vet. I was in the mood for another staring contest.
You may not spend class time writing her get well soon notes.
You really understand how I'm feeling right now? Turtle strapped to a rocket booster?
Again, Moses, I don't think, has spent a lot of his life feeling like the coolest guy, but he is the coolest guy. Also, look at the reflections on and around that box. That's really neat, because that is what they look like. Movies.
Moses had me rewind after the first scene of Brain Bucket 3 because he, quote, needed to unsee that.
Oh, here she is. Schoolgirl.
Here she is. But what's your name, young lady?
Like, look at how real this looks in terms of, like, its modeling and design. They really nailed this. Oh. Mina Hiramatsu.
Mina Hiramatsu. If I make it through this weekend, I promise to marathon your work with Moses. Moses' secret contraband kettle out in the open?
He was playing fast and loose with that job offer.
Yasmin has been through hell in the last year. Not that she didn't deserve some of it, but still.
And this is another not font. This looks handwritten as well. It's just a detail that I notice, and I always appreciate the effort that they put into that. Moses, thank you for your card. My time at Caledon didn't end quite as I might have hoped, but I know the school is in capable hands. I remember when Safia first met you and how excited she was to make such a bright new friend. I hope that wherever she is now, she knows how lucky she is to have friends like you and Maxine. Fondly, Yasmin. Has Max softened on the topic of Maxine? Because I remember in the first game, she said at one point, not Maxine, never Maxine. She was always Max and only Max.
Okay, ask me.
Who killed Swordmaster Frostbite in No True Samurai?
Mina Hiramatsu, which is also very helpfully underlined.
Mina Hiramatsu, the badass high schooler.
Correct! Are you ready for test number 2? Please hand me the object behind that locked door.
What is he up to now? If you want me to do something other than break into this thing with a screwdriver, speak now.
I'm just observing my test subject.
Good to hear.
Oh, look, a screwdriver.
Haven't had to break into something for a while. But it's probably just like stealing a bike.
One and the same.
You just love watching me break things for science.
I know I won't remember it, but I still love watching it.
Damn. It's never simple in the time dojo.
Max is not affected by rewind. She retains facts and inventory objects. Rewind to undo breaking the mug. All right, so now that we know it's there, can we not smash it?
Okay, I'm probably not going to develop hand-eye coordination in the next few minutes. Need another plan.
I feel like she could probably, like, brace her knee against the door so that although the lock might break, it didn't, like, fling open. But, oh, look at that cushion.
Hey, Cushion. Want to save a mug in distress? Is this a bonus rewind test? Did you want the mug to fall?
No. That's just a lucky break.
I will never be able to prove this now, but I was thinking like a folded up towel or something so that it wouldn't hit the ground with such force.
Yes.
All right, and we do still have one mug.
Thanks. I'll put the kettle on. Meet me on the X when you're ready.
I'm good. As far as I know, we've examined everything in the room, so we will stand.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. I want you to teleport to this side of the room in a particular moment. Specifically, the moment before this mug hits the ground.
Moses.
It does that sometimes. I'm gonna count to 3.
Moses!
Ah!
Moses, unplug the kettle!
Oh, it just does that sometimes.
Guess I'll have to do this myself.
Ah!
Moses, unplug the kettle!
Oh, it just does that sometimes.
Moses, unplug the kettle!
Oh, it just does... Max, why'd you leave the X? What happened?
Fire happened.
Whoa. And I was just gonna let it spark. Well, thank you, teleporting Max. What?
That didn't happen before. We had hot chocolate last time, but it didn't combust. I just got back and I'm already changing things.
That's fascinating. Probably best to skip on the hot chocolate today. Let's debrief when you're ready.
I saved the observatory this time. Let's just hope I can save it again.
Wait, there is a dot over there. On the mural. Oh, can I look at the kettle again?
I've faced armed men before, but I just know this is gonna be the thing that kills me.
Ah, okay, we had to stand on the balcony, or landing.
When I, split reality in two and then mashed it back together, it wasn't exactly seamless. I offered to help him finish it, but Moses likes the reminder that all those crazy memories really happened.
That is very cool that for anybody that doesn't remember, in one reality the mural was up, and in the other one there was no mural because they didn't have time to do it before Safi passed. It was something they had always intended to do together. So here we have a mural plus it's not done correctly is the point.
Please tell me you'll stop using that kettle. For all we know, it burns down the school in 2 days.
I know it's a dysfunctional relationship, but I can fix her. You're right, though. Consider this her official retirement party.
How are you feeling about the disaster I just dropped into your lap?
Still processing, but I'm glad we still have a chance to do something. How do you feel?
I know my powers are, well, powerful, but that doesn't mean they're dependable. This could end badly. What if it was a mistake to come back here? What if I just make everything worse?
I know there are risks. There's a reason we never tested your ability to jump into photos. But our testing has proved that some kinds of rewind are safe. If you unbreak a mug, the universe doesn't seem to care.
What if I can't change anything? One time I tried to save my friend's father from dying in a car crash and...
You've told me. And yes, it sounds like the universe sometimes has a dark sense of humor. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's take stock. What do we know for sure? What leads do we have?
Vin and Amanda could help us. Vin knows everything about Caledon, and Amanda knows everything about Lakeport. Too bad I can't tell them why I'm asking. They'd never believe me.
Because of the storm amnesia?
We need a better name. That sounds like a disease you get in a fantasy novel.
Well, you turned down cognitive dissonance triggered collective memory loss.
Sometimes, I wish everyone still remembered. The 2 timelines and everything with Safi and me having powers and...
You could remind them. You reminded me when I started forgetting.
I was selfish. It was so scary when all their memories started fading. I couldn't stand the thought of being alone with everything again.
Understandable. But why me?
I know you could handle it. But most people aren't you. It's better if they don't know.
Even Amanda?
Especially Amanda. Dating a time traveler is not for everyone. Every conversation ended with, "Did you rewind that?" Every argument started with, "Don't rewind this."
I get where she's coming from. It's easy to imagine how someone with your powers could be manipulative.
I get it too. But it did hurt when she forgot about my powers and got so much happier. I couldn't remind her. I couldn't be the reason she got so anxious again. But then I really was lying to her, and I couldn't live with that either.
She still makes eyes at you and the turtle. Any regrets?
Well, so this is really interesting. It exposes that they broke up because Max's powers were a source of tension between them, and then as they got further from the storm and everybody's memories became murky enough that Amanda no longer remembered that Max had powers, Max realized that Amanda was much happier that way, but also then couldn't be in a relationship because now it was like actively deceiving to keep them from her again. It's just an interesting place to be. But yeah, I feel like there would be regrets. It sucks that they can't. I feel like the answer is yes.
Amanda is amazing. If there was a way to be honest about my powers and make her happy, I'd love to find it.
What a perfect response. That's exactly what I was trying to get to.
The only thing we know for sure is that my powers are going to complicate things. They always do.
Maybe this time is different? We can't stay locked in the past.
Like I can help it. Every time a new disaster strikes, it always brings me back to the first disaster.
Chloe, in the school bathroom.
Yeah. I tried so hard to save her. And the one thing I learned is that you can't save everyone.
I'm sorry about Chloe.
And now we could lose a Loretta, or a Reggie, or a you. How are you so calm?
Because things are different. You're an adult with better control of your powers, and you have a brilliant physicist friend who wants to help.
That I do. So, who would have a motive to burn down Caledon? I saw signs of a protest, but I'm not sure what it was about.
We haven't heard from Safi since she left.
Moses. No way. I didn't see any sign of her.
Safi's a shapeshifter. She was furious with her mom and with Caledon. Could it be her?
No. No way. At her darkest, I would not imagine Safi. Here's the thing. Max was running around that building and all of the doors were chained from the outside. Now, maybe that's just how they do security here. Seems a little bit... And like all the windows were boarded up. It just feels like that was not just burning down the school, but intended to kill as many people as possible. That's not Safi. Max disagreed with Safi, but she was never a monster. Not like that.
Safi's been gone for months. Her mom isn't even the president anymore. And she works alone. A riot isn't her style.
A riot is chaos. Safi's natural habitat.
Even so, Safi may hate the administration, but she'd never hurt the students. So, how do we stop a fire before it starts? Oh, right. My class starts in 15 minutes. I should cancel.
No. Don't make any changes you don't have to. If we mess with the timeline too much, we might introduce new variables.
You know, I saw something in class last time. Reggie took a call and walked away when I got near. I wonder if it was about Abraxas.
Secret society. Shady calls with the Abraxas president. It could be something.
And in the fire, I noticed some Abraxas graffiti. It seemed ominous.
Text me if you learn anything. I'm gonna steal another whiteboard from engineering. And Max? Promise me you'll do whatever you can this weekend. To stop the fire. To save people if it breaks out. Anything. I know there are consequences to using your powers, but inaction has consequences too. Whatever happens, I need us to know that we did everything we could.
I think I need that too.
Have a good class.
The game is afoot. From here on, it's up to you to find enough evidence to pinpoint the source of the fire. Remember to look everywhere for clues. And actually, that's going to be a really good place to call it for episode 1. We will catch you again for part 2 in just a beat.